So, what's important about a business headshot? Well, a business headshot is your introduction to new clients really these days. People do search out businesses online, on LinkedIn, on Twitter and on their website. So having a decent shot of yourself is really important. So, I know most of you hate having your photo taken. I do as well. Actually, I'm not as bad these days because I know how to get a good photo of me. But the key thing is sort of being confident and going into it with a positive frame of mind. So to help you with that, these are my top tips. So first of all, choosing a location. Now if you approach me about a business headshot, I usually ask you where would you like to do it. And as with most of these tips, you need to think about your ideal client, because people are taking in loads of messages from your photos. So if you're say you're an outdoor business like a landscape gardener and you have a shot in the studio on a white background, nobody's going to be able to tell that just from your photo. If you have your photo taken outside in a lovely garden, nice green backdrop, a bit like we've got now, that automatically says you're an outdoorsy type business and so on. So it reinforces the message. So don't automatically think that having a professional business headshot means that you have to be in a sterile white studio. For most people, that's not appropriate and actually looks quite dated now. So that's number one tip. Think about where you want your photo doing. So we talked about location. The next thing is what to wear. So my rule of thumb is wear what you A, feel confident and comfortable in, and B, what appeals to your ideal client. What would you wear if you met a client for the first time? Because that's effectively what you're doing with your photo. Think about what your ideal client would expect you to wear and what you would turn up to a first meeting with a client, and that's a good guideline. Now for the men, the top question is definitely, should I wear a tie or not? And again, if your client would expect to see you wearing a tie and would be put off with you not wearing a tie, then I'm afraid you'd have to get your tie out and put it on for the photo. If you're in a more relaxed sort of business, graphic designers and so on, where people wouldn't expect you to be dressed in formal business wear, then don't wear what you would normally. So I think the dilemma really comes with people where they think, well, actually I've got a mix of clients, some I put a tie on to see and others I wouldn't put a tie on. Or you can compromise with that by actually cropping the photos so you can't actually see whether you've got a tie on or not, if that's a real dilemma for you. So I always chat to you about that, so always have a think about that. For the women, I think another question is, should I wear big chunky jewellery? Now I have today. I think the whole thing with a business portrait is it should be the best version of you. So if that's your style, and I've seen women with fantastic necklaces, I'm a bit partial to necklaces myself, and that's how you normally turn up to see a client, I wouldn't suggest not doing it. The argument for not doing is that people will be busy looking at your jewellery and not looking at you. What I tend to do then in that sort of case, if you're not sure, is I'd take pictures with and without, and then you can decide what works best for you. But it is about being the best version of you. So if that's your style, don't worry too much about it. The other thing on what to wear is colour. Colour makes a big difference to how you look on screen. If you haven't been to a colour consultant who puts, they drape various colours underneath you and see what reflects on your skin and what suits you best, it's well worth investing in that, because for what they charge, it really helps to stop you choosing the wrong colours for you. And if you think, well, that all seems a bit mumbo jumbo, it isn't really. It's just like, say, an interior design or anything where you put two colours next to one another, they have an impact on how each one appears. And it's just the same with your skin. Your skin is slightly reflective. So if you have a colour on that doesn't suit you, like if I wear orange, I look absolutely awful. It can make you look ill. And I've seen people who've come to me for photos and they've worn one outfit and they've looked a bit not very healthy, and then they've changed into their alternative outfit and suddenly they look like they're glowing with health, and it's just because that colour suits them and the first colour didn't. So if you haven't consulted a colour consultant, experiment with different things, or bring different outfits to the shoot, so you can experiment with different colours and see what it looks like on the back of the camera, because colours make a big difference to how good you look. So that's colours, ties, jewellery, and as I've implied, it's worth having a change of clothes. Even if you haven't got time for a full change of clothes, if you wear a scarf or a different jacket, that can give a different feel to the photos and you can see what suits you best. So that's what to wear in terms of clothing. How about makeup? Now, for those of you who wear makeup like me, You probably want to wear it slightly heavier than you do normally, because the camera, it's not as obvious on camera. So think about sort of what you'd wear, as I say, just slightly heavier, not slap it on madly. So sort of think we wear for a nice evening out rather than perhaps sort of day wear. But having said that, if you don't wear makeup at all, don't feel that you have to. If you've got any sort of last minute blemishes, things like spots or sort of cold sores that are guaranteed to pop up the day before you're due to have your headshot done, don't panic about that, because we can get rid of those afterwards. So yeah, if you wear makeup, wear it slightly heavier than you normally do. If you don't wear makeup, don't feel you have to. Now, the other thing I would say, if you go for the nice dewy look, which looks great in real life, on photos and on video, it can make you look like you're sweating, and when somebody's sweating, it means they're nervous. So it's definitely a case of going for a matte look for your headshots. So no dewy makeup, a bit of a matte look. And if you don't wear makeup and you do tend to have a shiny skin, it's worth just having some tissues handy. I tend to have them handy just to sort of damp it down a bit so you don't look too shiny. Because as I say, while shiny looks great in real life, on a photo it can make you look like you're nervous and sweating. So that's the whole makeup side of it. If you wear glasses, avoid light sensitive ones, because particularly if I have to use flash to photograph you, it doesn't look very good if you put sunglasses on. I've got my sunglasses on here. It's probably an improvement actually, but you want to see people's eyes in the photo, and that's what we're automatically drawn to as human beings, people's eyes. So if you have light sensitive lenses that darken in bright light, we're not going to be able to see you your eyes clearly, which is not good for a headshot. The other thing is make sure you clean them, because otherwise all those finger marks and bits of dust that you don't notice day to day can show up on camera quite a lot. So make sure you've got nice, clean, sparkly glasses. The other question I've been asked quite a lot is it better to have a colour headshot or a black and white one? Now, if your branding is all about black and white, then a colour headshot is going to look out of place on your website. But certainly, if you are putting your headshot on LinkedIn, which I'd recommend you do, or Twitter, a colour headshot is going to be more appealing and stand out more to viewers. And certainly I've had a client where we did a quite colourful headshot. She was a life coach at the time, and she actually said she got clients because she stood out amongst the other ones because she had a nice professional, clear and bright coloured headshot. And people had actually said to her they found her headshot appealing and so on. Yeah, sort of whether you should look at the camera or not. I think for a headshot for profiles, you definitely should look at the camera. Again, as I said earlier, we like to look at eyes. So if you're looking down a list of people and you've got somebody who's looking straight at the camera, they are going to engage with you better because they're going to lock eye contact with you, even though it's only on a two-dimensional screen. Whereas if you're looking out of the picture, to one side or the other, we naturally follow that gaze, so that looks away from you and out onto the text or perhaps other people on the list of people they're looking at. So I think looking straight at the camera is better. If you're having a more business portrait done for your website, then I do encourage you to have some looking away, because it's actually quite a useful tool to get people to look at perhaps your sign up thing where you want them to sign up for your email list if you're looking away. Right, so Karen's just asked, should you use the same headshot across all social media? And I think yes, you should, because then people know it's you. Now I'm just thinking, oh, I currently got the same headshot. I don't think I have. I think my slightly different brands have got different ones, but certainly my LinkedIn and my Facebook and my Twitter have all got the same one, so they know it's the same person. Particularly if you've got a common name, if you're a John Smith or whatever, there's millions of John Smiths out there, so if you've got this consistent look across them, that works best. Right, so if nobody's got any more questions, thank you so much for looking in and for interacting. I really appreciate that. I am running a business headshot session in September in Warwick if you do want a headshot done, but I do business headshots throughout the week. I've done loads this week actually, and I do stuff for your staff as well as sort of entrepreneurs and so on, so do get in touch if you need a business headshot doing. But if you're going to do your own or get a mate to do it, hopefully these tips have helped you. So have a great weekend. Hopefully we're going to have some nice sunny weather again, and I'll see you again next week. Take care, thanks, bye bye.